Ladies and gentlemen, if you had told me, Greg, in a few days, you're going to be super jazzed about this upcoming Madam Web movie, I would have gawked at you. I would have said, what the hell are you talking about, you moron? But boy, oh boy. That damn Sony train. Looks like I'm back on board. There's so many reports coming out about this movie right now. They're different. It's more than just, hey, look, a cool Spider-Man Easter egg. This could be totally awesome, or it could be another Sony train wreck. And either one, I'm looking forward to. It just doesn't sound like it'll be boring. And if you're boring, that's the worst. It goes like boring is the top, right below it is annoying. But if you are at least entertainingly bad, I'll settle, man. So citizens of the Reject Nation, leave a like, thwip that thing. We got to go over the list of the characters that are here and what the potential plot might be, because the potential plot for this is the thing that especially has me jazzed. Because it could be like Into the Spider-Verse meets Terminator, which, come on, that sounds great. Or it could be Into the Spider-Verse meets Terminator Genesis. You know, those are two very different experiences. And again, if half of this is true, I think I'm going to be a happy camper. Here we go. Speed around these cast of characters. Not going to do a big, giant comic book lore on these people. First one on the list, Dakota Johnson as Cassandra Webb, a.k.a. Madam Web. There were a lot of talks like, oh, is she going to be playing Julia Carpenter, because Dakota Johnson in these set photos doesn't look like a frail old lady? Yeah, she's going to actually be playing Cassandra Webb. Now, I'm sure you've seen a lot of imagery of her. So, you know, in the comics, she's like a clairvoyant, has telepathy abilities, has the ability to predict things before they happen. And of course, she's connected to a life support system resembling a spider web. Kind of goofy when you think about it. It's pretty goofy. And just side note, you know, if your only metric for Dakota Johnson's acting abilities comes from the 50 Shades trilogy, aka the greatest trilogy of all time, there were 3 of them, right? Not 4. I don't really know, but I've seen them all. She's actually a fantastic actress, so I'm excited for her. If there's one thing I know about these Sony movies, is that when you get great actors in them, you really get to showcase why they're great actors. All right, next up on the list, Sydney Sweeney from Euphoria, who is another wonderful actress. She's actually going to be playing, who a lot of people assume she might be playing, Julia Carpenter. So in the comics, Julia Carpenter was the second Spider-Woman and also the second Madam Web. Not exactly clear which point in the timeline we are for this character or what they're setting up, because again, got so many different characters being introduced in here. It's like, it really feels like she could be either one at this point. Either way, I'm excited for Sydney Sweeney. She's very talented. And apparently she doesn't get paid enough money, according to some interview that she did. She needs to get paid more. She needs to build a fence around her house because a bunch of perverts keep stalking her. So stop it. All right, next up on the list, we got Celeste O'Connor playing Maddie Franklin. So in the comics, Maddie was the third Spider-Woman. I love the design of her costume. Obviously, the qualities of it might sort of evoke the Iron Spider suit that Tom Holland would wear. But, you know, this could actually be a lot creepier if utilized properly in live action. And her character, alongside with Julia Carpenter, very integral to the Madam Web storyline, the specific storyline where it seems like aspects of this movie are definitely going to be borrowing from. Isabella Merced as Anya Corazon, aka the Spider Girl. There have been reports that they are working on a standalone movie for this character. She uses these grappling hooks like spiders, because Spider-Man. She also has symbiote-like protective skin to defend herself. Here's where I was like, whoa. Adam Scott as young Uncle Ben. When I heard he was in this movie, my mind never even came close to thinking this is what it was going to be. And there were these set photos that show him like as a paramedic. Uncle Ben, to my knowledge, has never been a paramedic. So looks like we're gonna be doing a very different take. He was always a helper. You gotta help people. That's why he helped told his nephew to have responsibility. But Adam Scott, absolute gem. Met him at a bathroom once at an AM PM. Let's leave it at that. Let your mind trail off on what might have happened. And then we have Emma Roberts. Now, there were photos that were going around showing a pregnant Emma Roberts. Now it's being reported that she's going to be playing a young Mary Parker. Mary, not May, Mary, mother of Peter. We could be looking at seeing a baby Spider-Man in this movie. When she gives birth, he's going to be in a Spider-Man costume. We could be seeing a baby Peter Parker. So with those last two characters in mind, the main plot of this movie right now is that it's going to be a Terminator-like film where Madam Webb and all these other spider variants, these female spider variants, are protecting an unborn Peter Parker who's being carried in the womb of Mary and a young Uncle Ben from a threat. The threat being they want to kill Peter Parker before Peter Parker is born. And you know what? I like that plot. I think the plot actually sounds really exciting. Like, Madam Web's whole thing is about protecting the web of life and destiny. And essentially, the web of life, it encompasses all of time, past, present, and future, and essentially holds the multiverse together. So if there's a threat out there trying to eliminate Baby Pete before he can ever exist and become the Spider-Man, then there could be some serious consequences to the multiverse. So it makes sense why Madam Web would get involved and assemble this team and said, I specifically only want women. This could be a really big threat. You know, we've seen some multiverse consequences as of late. Worked out fine for Adrian Toomes, no problem. Wrapped it up in 2 scenes in the Morbius films. But, you know, when it came to Tom Holland's Spider-Man and No Way Home, there was some serious shit there. So, yeah, with Madam Web's ability, she has the capability to transport any version of Spider-Man or Spider-Woman across the multiverse. So maybe this could even tie into Across the Spider-Verse as well. And as fun as it is to, like, crap on Sony's crap, they did produce Into the Spider-Verse, and the Spider-Man films within the MCU are technically their films. So not everything they make is crap. Some of it's great. And the idea of doing like a live-action Spider-Verse sounds awesome. But, you know, it does raise some questions, like who will the villain be? Some people are thinking it could be this villain named Morlun, and the energy vampires, these multidimensional villains who go after Spider-Man variants. That conversation was brought up a lot around the time when I believe Daniel Espinosa was the one who said that Sony wanted to deal with the Spider-Man totems. Other speculation are saying that it could be Charlotte Witter, who is Madam Web's granddaughter, where in the comics, where she did gather the Spider-Woman together to take down a threat. It was specifically to take down Charlotte. And part of the group that Madam Web assembled together to take down her granddaughter in that comic run was Maddie Franklin and Julia Carpenter. Either villain at this point sounds like a likely thought. Like, I'm not even super stoked about who the villain might be. I'm more excited about just seeing all these Spider-Verse characters come together, and then also the plot of something that is very Terminator-esque, right? And it does still throw a wrench in, like, okay, if this Madam Web movie, if the Earth that she inhabits is the same one that Morbius is in, is the same one that Venom is in, which Spider-Man is this? But if they care about continuity and timelines and all that shit, which I don't know how much they care to adhere to any of that, it sounds like they could be setting up a new Spider-Man. Because, you know, there were those set photos that show that it takes place in the early 2000s. So if the idea is baby Spider-Man in the early 2000s, and then we go to modern day, which is where we have people like Morbius and Venom, that would mean Peter Parker's already grown up and he's a Spider-Man. The timeline of having a Spider-Man exist does make sense. The question is, can it be one of the 3 that we've already seen recently? Because Tobey Maguire's took place in the early 2000s, and the dude definitely looks like he's in his 40s at least. Then you got Andrew Garfield, who doesn't look like he's in his 20s, and they already had a Mary Parker in those films. Not that I think that matters. You can just do a recasting. Hell, even the MCU just did that with Cassie Lang. And then you have Tom Holland, who I just don't think is from this earth, could be a Tom Holland variant. If they want to set up a new Spider-Man, although I don't know if Tom Holland would be excited at the prospect of doing that. I don't know. Either way, this film sounds like it could be wild and crazy and awesome. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. Whip that subscribe button and that like button. Become a citizen of the Reject Nation if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you guys soon.